Hey, are you a short-term rental boss doing it all on your own? I'm Kate Stormer, and I have some tips that can help you elevate your game in the short-term rental biz. So my first tip is all about defining your business's purpose. And I like to emphasize this because often as solopreneurs and small business owners in the space, our business kind of takes on a life of its own. And it's really important to remember and recall and stay tied to what purpose does this business fulfill in our life's vision, right? So the business itself will have a mission and vision, but what role is it playing in our life's vision? And has that changed over time? When we correctly view our business and direct it and guide it through the lens of, is this a legacy for our kids? Is this an asset that we're going to sell? Is this a component of an overarching investment strategy? Or maybe it's just a stepping stone to a different goal. Whatever that lens is, when we keep that in mind and make business decisions, that enables us to ensure that our business's trajectory is going to get us to that goal and fit within our overall life's purpose. So my second tip is all about mastering your financials. And if this isn't you and you already have your financials down to the cost of consumables per guest, awesome. For the rest of you, and I know there are many of you because I've worked with you, mastering our financials is a key component of really elevating our effort as the boss of our short-term rental business. And the reasons that we're not always great at mastering our financials, sometimes it's just we're reasonably good at it. We're just not sure what the bar is in terms of how to interpret our numbers. Sometimes it's that we're just overwhelmed, so we don't prioritize it. We do the absolute minimum we have to do. Sometimes we have fear and some money mindset stuff that's causing us to bury our head in the sand. If that's you, it's okay. We want to empower ourselves to take action, to get to that point of feeling that mastery over our financials and our business. And it's not just profit and loss, it's cash flow, it's yield per property. It's all of those things that not only inform us about how our business is doing, but empower us to make informed decisions about where to take our business. So my third tip is about anticipating market shifts. When we are able to choose our response to changing market conditions, that enables us to retain our edge. When we are in reaction mode, we are actually losing ground, right? And we certainly want to avoid that wherever possible. So I encourage you to establish a boss routine by which you are scanning your market environment regularly and capturing any signals that are letting you know that change is coming, right? And this empowers you to stay ahead. This is a great way of proactively navigating this rather chaotic short-term rental landscape these days. So my fourth tip is about goal clarity, focus, and flexibility. And this is really about acknowledging that we are pulled in a million different directions all the time. In our business, we have a to-do list and we have fires that do need to be put out and things that we do need to be doing. But we also have lives and ways that we choose and want to and need to spend our time outside of our business. And so how do we make sure that we're really moving our business forward in the way that we want? Well, the first thing we do is we get very clear about our goals and we get some discipline in place where we carve out time to work toward our goal. We don't let the whirlwind of the to-do list and all these other things in our lives distract us and keep us away from doing that important strategic work. But we also have what I consider some scaffolding in place. We have some rules for ourselves to manage distraction as well, because sometimes we will start working and spending more time doing something else, rationalizing it as important to achieve a goal or solve a problem in our business, where the reality is we haven't actually stuck to our goal, and then 2 weeks later we're off doing something else. So I think it's important, tip number 4, to have goal clarity, to have some discipline and focus, but also to have some structured flexibility that empowers us to shift our goal if we find that we need to. And so to sort of have some rules in place for ourselves that empower us to make decisions and shift and pivot where necessary because of changing priorities, new information, new challenges in our business. We need to be able to do that, but we also need to not get distracted without being really clear-headed about how we're spending our time and why we're spending our time in that way. So my final tip is about having a performance dashboard. Our data is scattered all over the place, right? But the insights to our business are in the consolidation of that data. So I was a healthcare executive for a number of years. I used to routinely run board of directors meetings. I would prepare the agenda. And part of that agenda isn't like, hey, we're going to log into the financial software and look at our P&L. No, we're going to put everything together into a very easy, very accessible, at a glance look so that we can make decisions about our business with all the information that we have. This is really an important process for us to be strategic about our business. So as an example, I had a client I worked with. We went through the process of putting together this performance dashboard. It had financial data, it had market data, performance data, and marketing data all in one. And after she put all of that in, we stepped back and looked at it. We all of a sudden realized that her marketing spend was out of sync with her booking window. So we had to recalibrate sort of that marketing effort to align more closely with the booking window and when people start looking and what we understood about her market. But she wouldn't have known this. She wouldn't have understood this if she hadn't looked at all of that together, because the person who was doing the marketing knew the booking window, but wasn't making the connection. Okay. And so these are the kinds of insights that when we see our data in a sort of one spreadsheet sort of viewpoint, it can really inform us to be more strategic. It can make sure that we're being as efficient and effective as possible in our business. And again, this is another way that helps us when we include market data, where we can see trends and even predict maybe what's coming and position ourselves a little bit differently. And I know these things take a little bit of extra time, but this is the last tip. Goal clarity, focus, and flexibility is an important part of us having that time carved out to be strategic and working on our business and not just in our business. I hope these tips were helpful for you. I've been an industry professional for a while, and these represent a number of areas that I frequently talk to folks about. But ultimately, the one thing that I find is true throughout most of the conversations I have is that a lot of the short-term rental industry professionals, the solopreneurs and the small business owners, they are hungry just to connect with another human being in the industry in a meaningful way about the inner workings of our businesses. I'll get a lot of questions about, is this normal? What financial metrics should I be seeing? What performance metrics should I be seeing? And so one of my missions this year was to actually create an environment where I could help connect and facilitate those connections in a structured way with other short-term rental solopreneurs and small business owners who are interested in getting more strategic, who are really looking to deepen their understanding of their business's inner workings to be more efficient and effective in attaining their goals. So I'm excited to be launching the Short-Term Rental Boss Bootcamp. This is a 90-day sprint that starts with business planning for goal clarity. So we're going to go through a couple of exercises just to make sure that we know what it is we're trying to achieve in our business. And the rest of the time is really structured around achieving those strategic goals. And so we're going to do that through having some accountability touch points every week. You'll have the opportunity to join some co-working sessions, to, if you'd like, have the option of an accountability buddy or two. And then, of course, we can't have a boot camp and not mastermind, right? So we're going to have 3 formal masterminds, one each month of the sprint, where we're going to formally mastermind and we're going to dig into a topic of mutual interest to all of us. And then we'll dig into some of the challenges that participants are having in their business and inspire one another and challenge one another to really achieve our goals, or maybe even elevate what we think we're possible of, right? And then we're going to do some networking as well. So I'm really excited this is my inaugural launch of the STR Boss Bootcamp. We're starting April 1st. We're going to go through all of quarter 2. It's a 13-week program, and it's really intended to help you stay focused on being more strategic in your business and connecting with other short-term rental bosses in the industry. Because this is my inaugural launch, of course, I'm offering it at an incredibly reasonable price. I will never be offering it at this price again. So if this is in the least bit interesting to you, I hope you will join. I'm going to be asking my participants to give me feedback and help me make sure that this is the program that is empowering you to elevate your performance in your business and to feel more confident and clear about what you are doing with your time and effort devoted to your short-term rental biz. So sign up today. Live sessions start April 1st, but you can get started in the business planning exercises before we start live. And we're going to go all the way through to the end of Q2, which is the end of June. And check out some of the frequently asked questions on my webpage if you are interested in learning more about the Boss Bootcamp and signing up. I really hope that you will join us and really make this thing incredible.